COVID-19 is a new illness that can affect your lungs and airways. It is caused by a virus called coronavirus. To help stop the spread of coronavirus, everyone has been asked to continue to follow the health advice. While there is no evidence that coronavirus can be sexually transmitted, it can be passed on through close contact with one who has the virus. Remember, proper hand washing, respiratory hygiene, and physical distancing are even more important as coronavirus restrictions are eased. Don't ignore or delay seeking medical advice if you have symptoms. Phone your GP or out-of-hour services to discuss if you are feeling unwell. Reduce the risk of coronavirus during sex. Now, how do you reduce the risk of coronavirus during sex? You may not know if someone has coronavirus. Being sexually active with another person involves some risk of coronavirus transmission, especially as someone may have no symptoms while they are infectious. You can reduce this risk by following the advice below. Number 1, only be sexually active with a partner living in your household. Number 2, if you decide to be sexually active with someone living outside of your household, limit it to as few partners as possible, preferably one regular partner. Number 3, wash your hands thoroughly with soap and water for at least 20 seconds before and after sexual activity. Before deciding to engage in online sexual activity, including sexting, consider the possible risks. There are a number of safety issues you should think through in advance. Remember, close sexual contact with anyone you are not living with can put you and others at risk of coronavirus. When to consider avoiding sex. Avoid sexual activity and especially kissing if you or your partner has symptoms of coronavirus, such as fever, cough, shortness of breath, or loss of smell or taste. Anyone with common symptoms of coronavirus should self-isolate and phone their GP or out of services hours straight away to get a coronavirus test. If you have been identified as a close contact of a confirmed case of COVID-19, you will need to restrict your movements for 14 days after your last contact with the person who has COVID-19, and you will be referred for testing even if you have no symptoms. It is important to be particularly careful if you or your sexual partner has an underlying medical condition, as you are more likely to become very ill if you get coronavirus. These include lung disease, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, obesity, or a weakened immune system. Safer sexual practices. As well as protecting yourself from coronavirus, it is important to take the usual safer sex precautions to protect yourself from unplanned pregnancy, STIs, and HIV. Number 1, always use a condom. Condoms give the best protection against the STIs and are 98% effective against pregnancy when you use them correctly and every time you have sex. Number 2, use hormonal contraception to prevent unplanned pregnancy. Talk to your pharmacist or GP about different methods of hormonal contraception. If your hormonal contraception prescription is due for renewal, your pharmacist may be able to provide you with additional supplies if it is safe and appropriate to do so. Number 3, emergency hormonal contraception, otherwise known as EHC, can be taken up to 5 days after unprotected sex to prevent unplanned pregnancy. The sooner you take it, the more effective it is. You can get EHC without prescription from your local pharmacy. If you need EHC, phone your pharmacist, who may be able to carry out the consultation over the phone. This will reduce the amount of time you will need to spend in the pharmacy. Number 4, get tested for STIs if you have symptoms of an STI. There have been restrictions to many public STI services during the coronavirus outbreak. Contact your local STI clinic or GP to check the testing service availability. Number 5, PrEP, otherwise known as pre-exposure prophylaxis. It is a medication that can help prevent HIV transmission if you are HIV negative and at substantial risk of acquiring HIV. Number 6, PEP. If you have been recently exposed to HIV PEP, post-exposure prophylaxis is a course of HIV medication that can help to prevent HIV infection. This is available through public STI clinics and in emergency departments. There is no evidence to suggest that people on PrEP or HIV treatment have additional protection against coronavirus. Sexual consent. Sexual activity should only ever be between consenting adults who have the legal capacity to make the decision. The legal age of sexual consent in Ireland is 17. Consent to sexual activity requires communication to make sure you and your partner understand each other and are in agreement about the sexual act. Even if you consent to a sexual act, you can change your mind before the act begins or at any time before it ends. Sexual health services during the coronavirus outbreak. STI services. Many public STI services are providing services at a limited capacity, and others are not currently providing services due to coronavirus. Contact your local STI clinic or GP to check the testing service availability. Unplanned pregnancy services. My Opinions provides support and information for those experiencing an unplanned pregnancy. The service continues to operate as normal during this time. HSC funded face-to-face unplanned pregnancy counseling services have moved the services to phone or remote support. They continue to provide the support to provide the same level of service. Abortion services. Abortion services will continue to be provided during the current COVID-19 public health emergency. It may not be possible or suitable for you to attend a doctor in person to access abortion services. You can have your pre-abortion consultation by phone or video link with the doctor. Other important information. For specific information on coronavirus and sex for gay and bisexual men, trans men, and other men who have sex with men, please see mantoman.ie, HIV Ireland's Empower program. Thank you for staying with us. This is Adams Today. If you're new to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, like and share this video in order to be on the look, and don't forget to smash that notification icon in order to be notified when we post a new video. I will see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.